bits, the currency used to buy goods and services in the pony world. By definition, they are made of gold with an embossed rim. Now, one question that has been on my mind for the longest time is, how much are they actually worth in US dollars? Well, let's find out. Now, this coin, called a bit, is made out of solid gold for all we know, so keep that in mind for later. Also, 1 ounce of gold is worth $1,084, so keep that in mind too. Right now, someone says bits are worth around 12.5 cents, which I strongly disagree on, and you'll see why later on. To solve this problem of finding out how much bits are worth in modern day, we have to find the total volume of the object. Then we have to convert the volume into weight, and because the cost of gold is measured in ounces, we must find the total weight in ounces. Once we do that, we'll be able to find roughly the cost of a singular bit. So, how do we find the volume of a bit? Well, let's find the surface area of the top of a bit first. So get ready, because we're going to do some crazy math. I know, so exciting, right? Anyway, according to Google, the diameter of a horse hoof is an average of 3.5 inches in length. Now, split that number in two, and there you get the radius of a horse hoof, which is about 1.75 inches. Now, plug that number into the formula to find the area of a circle, which is pi times radius to the power of 2. Once you do that, you'll get about 9.621 inches squared. But that doesn't mean anything. We still have to know the area of a bit. So let's take a look at this scene. Using the comparison between a hoof and the coin, we can count the pixels from top to bottom of a hoof. After that, we'll get something like this. Now, I couldn't get it perfectly straight, but we can take the pattern of the pixels, which is 2 down and 1 to the right, making it a 2-to-1 ratio, and there are 20 of them. To find the length of each 2-to-1 ratio to measure the coin, we must take 1 and divide it by 2 to get 0.5, then divide it by 3.5 inches to get about 0.143 inches per 2-to-1 ratio. Now we measure how many 2-to-1 ratios that aren't measuring the bit, which is about 4. Take the 4 and multiply it by 0.143 inches, and we get about 0.572 inches that aren't measuring the coin. Then subtract that from the total diameter of hoof, and we get about 2.29 inches. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Stick with me for a little longer. Lastly, to find the area of a bit, we take the diameter and divide it by 2 to get the radius, and then plug it into the formula again. And finally, we get the surface area of a bit, which is about 6.743 inches squared. Now to find the second part of the volume, we must find the height of a bit. Reference this scene where we see a bit compared to a bundle of asparagus. Thankfully, a bundle of asparagus has a specific average length of 7 inches. How? Take the spear of an asparagus, which is mostly an average of 9 inches long, and because it's recommended to cut about 2 inches at the bottom, you get a spear that is 7 inches long. Again, we're going to measure the asparagus and bit in pixels. The asparagus is 163 pixels long, while the bit is 12 pixels thick. And with some quick maths, by converting pixels to height, the asparagus height per pixel is 0.043 inches. This means by taking the height per pixel and multiplying it by 15, we get a bit that is 0.644 inches thick. And now all that's left is to multiply base times height to find the volume, and we get around 4.342 inches cubed. Okay, so now that we have a total approximate volume of a bit, we must find the weight of a bit. According to Google, again, 1 cubic inch of gold weighs in at around 0.70 pounds. So just take the 0.70 and multiply it by volume, and we get around 3.0394 pounds. Well, you might be saying, oh, but Cappy, the cost of gold is measured in ounces. Well, that's a simple fix. Just convert pounds to ounces. And hey, what do you know? We get the weight in ounces, which, by the way, is 48.6304 ounces. Okay, we're in the home stretch. Now it's time to convert ounces of gold to US dollars. As I said earlier, 1 singular ounce of gold is worth around 1,844 US dollars. So we multiply that by 48.6034 ounces, and you get the price. So finally, after like a week or so of researching and doing math, I'm proud to say that 1 singular bit is worth around 89,693.91 US dollars. Okay, yeah, I will definitely not be buying that anytime soon. Now, there are many problems to this kind of theory. First of all, we know that cartoons are never consistent throughout shots, with sizes of objects and its environment being different in almost every shot. Also, there are things called perspective shots, where when you're seeing something from one way, someone else, or in this case, some pony else, may be seeing it differently, and that can really mess up the results. For example, in both of my shots I selected, the bit is slanted slightly, making it harder to find the actual measurements of a base or height. The reason I went with it is that it's the closest I'll ever get to getting it perfect, and the researching part and math stuff was taking too long. Another thing is that it's entirely possible I did my math wrong. I mean, I'm no super mathematician, but I do try. Now, if there are any actual mathematicians out there who would like to check my work, please do so. I'll leave all the info about the video in the description, as well as the photos I used to find the measurements of a bit. Now, obviously, there may be plenty of other mistakes or variables that play a role in shaping the results, like the value of gold constantly changing or some other thing. But what do you think? How would you go about solving this mystery? What would you do to solve it? Drop a comment down below and explain your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. Before we end, I just want to tell you why I haven't been uploading as frequently as I would like. The biggest reason is because of school. The last month of it is crazy with all the statewide testing, final end of the year projects, finishing assignments, the list goes on. Now, for some more uplifting news, I'll be happy to say that as of the making of this video, I'm officially done with school and summer has started, so that means more content. But I do have vacation for the first 2.5 weeks or so I'll post as soon as I can. Also, I have one more question to ask you, just randomly to hear your thoughts. What is your favorite My Little Pony song in G4 or G5 only? Leave your answer in the comments down below. Another thing, I just want to thank you all so much for the support on the channel, and especially the last video. It really means a lot, and it gets us one step closer to being something greater, as well as helping me reach my goal of getting 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. So thank you guys so much for that. One last thing, make sure to
like and subscribe
and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any other future content. But anyways, that's it for me. This is Cappy signing out until next time. Hoof.